Writing is hard. In the era of consumption, the amount of media people consume, watch, and sometimes enjoy on a day-to-day basis has become pretty overstuffed, to say the least. Thus, as creators, I feel like there is a larger push to make things bigger and better than they used to be, which logically would mean we would want to improve the quality of the things we produce. TLDR, this does not apply to mega corporations or low-effort content creators. Screw those guys! However, for creators trying to push themselves, sometimes the writing process can get muddled and mistakes can slip through the cracks. I want to talk about my experience as a writer, and hopefully fellow creators share some of these experiences. The topic that intersects with this is planning versus pantsing. These ideas represent two specific approaches to writing. Planning involves any type of pre-planning and outlines that go into writing. This could be something as little as a brief outline that comes with the writing process, or it could be something as complex or as massive as, character bios, outlines organized by scenes, chapters, and more. Pantsing involves the opposite. This is not a horrible thing. Most pantsers fly by the seat of their pants, write things as events, characters, and themes come to them. Some of the most successful writers of today happen to be pantsers. Stephen King is a popular pantser that comes to mind. I genuinely don't think any of these are the right or wrong option. I've experienced both of the sensations that come with planning and pantsing themselves, so I wanted to bring some light to them. Most of the stories I've written were planned from the start, but sometimes I feel like planning can feel somewhat limiting. I've spent hours making bullet points, Google Docs, outlines, and more. Once everything is thought through and planned, sometimes I just feel like I'm being set on a script that my mind has kind of set me on. It's like putting my brain on train tracks and, I know where the train tracks go. I'm just watching myself run the course. By this logic, maybe it makes the writing process, less fun and less fulfilling. Whenever I feel burnt out from writing, it's been a pattern for me that flying by the seat of my pants on just one story can help me create some of my favorite characters and scenarios. Time for an example. I started writing in 2019. I'd done other things before then, but I've been on a consistent track since 2019, which is insane to think of now. Since 2019 to 2021, I had been writing non-stop. Just from one story to the next, I would write the events, then proceed to write and watch everything come to life. Of course, I wasn't worth my salt in any sense of the word, and I would never let anyone see these old stories. I wrote an 11-volume story that was called Artemis. The full word count by the end of it was, it was about 27,000 words. After these stories, I went on to write some standalone stories in the same universe, which added another 20,000 or so words to that total. I look back at this time as a great time for ideas, horrible time for writing. My quality was horrendous, pretty much the very epitome of quantity over quality. After a bit of a break in mid-2021, I came up with a new idea, and this time I just kind of wrote. It was about a character named Connie the Cleaner, who was, insane or whatever. The story involved a deranged Connie who possessed mysterious powers while a detective named Giovanna tried to track her down and capture her due to her dangerous nature. At the end of the day, the story is one of the very worst that I have written. It's all over the place, chapters aren't paced greatly, and there's a heavy amount of violence that just makes it cheesy and over the top and stupid. With all that being said, it was one of the most freeing times of my writing career, and I would say it assisted me in developing a new darker style that I think I've been working on ever since I wrote that story. Now, where am I going with all this? It seems like I've just been, I'm just talking about nothing. My point is that nobody is ever 100% a pantser or 100% a planner. Allowing yourself time to be a pantser when you are a planner, and vice versa, can often be a really freeing experience. and I think it helps people develop their styles. Most of us, by nature, are plantsers. This is the writer who does some planning and does some pantsing, and my current plantsing formula involves writing an outline that I don't always have to follow, giving myself room to play around between plot beats and such. With planning, we usually get a well thought out story with foreshadowing and such. This can come at the cost of feeling a little bit boxed in by, your plot. With pantsing, we allow ourselves to go wild with ideas. This doesn't make sense, whatever. Pantsing basically removes the box that the plot creates altogether. Allowing myself to do a bit of both when I write allows me to be surprised sometimes by my own plot beats. I feel that these moments that we are most surprised by might be the moments that would surprise our own audience. So, hey, are you a planner, pantser, or are you somewhere in between? I'd love to hear people's thoughts in the comments, and learning more about other people's writing experiences and processes can help us all grow as any type of creator. With that, thank you for listening to me ramble. Bye! And also, look out for a video on... This little guy, look out for a video on him. Look out for a video. Check it out. I'll get him in the video. He's coming. There's going to be a video about this guy. Because his game's out. It's awesome. It's going to be all about this guy.